The Miami Dolphins have traded for the fastest receiver in the NFL, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill is now not only a Miami Dolphin, but he is also the highest paid receiver in the NFL, making $30 million a year. Woo! We're going to talk about that and much more right after the bumper. What's good, good people? What is good, good people? My name is JeffLightsyJr. here with the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and notification bell because we upload every single day. Now, Tyreek Hill is now a member of the Miami Dolphins. Yes, Miami is spending that money like crazy. They went out and got them a left tackle. They went out and got them a fullback, a running back, and now they get the cheetah. Tyreek Hill signed a 4-year, $120 million contract, 70, I think $72 million guaranteed, 70, 72, $75 million guaranteed, somewhere in that range, to be a member of the Miami Dolphins. He now joins Jalen Waddle, Devontae Parker in that receiving corps to be probably the fastest receiving corps in the NFL, maybe one of the fastest receiving corps in the history of the NFL. And he will go down there and team up with the Dolphins, who look to make a run at the Bills and the Patriots in the AFC East. Now, Tyreek Hill, this trade came as a shocker to a lot of people because Tyreek Hill's had a number of success in Kansas City, 6-time Pro Bowler in 6 years, including last year where he had over 110 catches. He had over 1,200 yards. He had another 9 touchdowns. He won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs. He was Patrick Mahomes, one of his favorite targets, along with Travis Kelce. And it was just a trio, Mahomes, Kelce, and Tyreek Hill, just thought would terrorize the league for at least the next 5 years, maybe the next 10 years. But that all changed when Davante Adams got paid by the Raiders. Davante Adams wanted out of Green Bay, got paid by the Raiders. He then became the highest paid receiver. Tyreek looked at that deal and was like, yeah, I want a piece of that. I want some of that money. According to his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, now Tyreek Hill is like, yo, I'm deserving just as much, if not more, than Davante. And so Miami unloaded 5, count them up, 5 draft picks, including a first and a third rounder, to go get Tyreek Hill. And now he is a member of the Miami Dolphins. So here's what I think about this. Did Tyreek Hill just ruin his career, though, by making this move? Because you got to think, the Chiefs are still well positioned to be one of the best teams in the AFC for years to come. They have the franchise quarterback. He's locked up. They have the tight end, Travis Kelce. He's locked up. They need a number 1 receiver. Mecole Hardman is a good player. It's not a number 1 receiver. Mecole Hardman is a good player. Juju Smith is a good player. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who I think they're going to sign, are good players. But I am not saying they're not number 1 receivers, but the Chiefs have, I think, 12 draft picks in the 2022 NFL draft. They have a number of draft picks in the 23 draft because of this Tyreek Hill deal. And so they're well positioned to fix up that defense, with some of these draft picks, and to go out and you can't recreate the cheetah. I'm sorry. You just can't recreate and draft the Tyreek Hill, but to go out and try to upgrade that receiving core. And, the Chiefs, they seem to make stars out of nothing when it comes to their receivers. And so, but with Miami, their quarterback is Tua Tagovailoa, and Tua has not proven that he can be the quarterback of the future. Tua is now going to have everything at his disposal to be his best version of himself. He has Tyreek. He has Jalen Waddle, who was a top 10 pick. He has a Devontae Parker, who was a 6'3" big body wide receiver. He has Gesicki, who was a good tight end. He has Mostert in the backfield, who was a good running back. They went out and they went out and signed a fullback, Alec Ingold. And teams ain't even signing fullbacks nowadays. They signed a fullback. They brought in Mike McDaniel from the 49ers. And the 49ers and their, who was a disciple of Kyle Shanahan, who was a disciple of Sean McVay. And a lot of the Sean McVay proteges are doing pretty well in the NFL. Zach Taylor is doing well. Kyle Shanahan is doing very well. And now Mike McDaniel hopes to keep that trend going down in Miami. But one thing Miami has done by all these signings, whether it's Teron Armstead, Alec Ingold, Raheem Mostert, they've shown that they are committing to the run. Even with the cheetah, they're going to commit to the run with Tua. They're going to commit to the run with Tua, some play action, and try to hide his deficiencies. but he's got plenty of weapons. Jalen Waddle was one of the most explosive. If it wasn't for the crazy season that Jamar Chase had, we would have been talking about Jalen Waddle being a subpar, having a ridiculous. He had a ridiculous season last year, just really, really good. Jamar Chase just set records and was just insane. And because that took some of the spotlight off Jalen Waddle and what he was able to do in his first year in Miami. You had Waddle with the cheetah, with hopefully a healthy Devontae Parker, with the solid tight end in Gesicki. Miami's offense with an offensive-minded head coach, with the coach who was offensive-minded first. No disrespect to Brian Flores, and shout out to Brian Flores, but he was a defensive guy. He fixed their defense. Their defense has ball players on that side of the ball because of Brian Flores. The defense looks pretty good because of Brian Flores. They did draft a lot of defensive first guys, whether it was Jalen Phillips out of Miami or re-signing Xavier Howard or going out and getting a guy like Byron Jones over the years to shore up that defense. Now Mike McDaniel's coming in to shore up that offense. And so Miami, I think, is going to be improved. But will Tua, Mike McDaniel, and the style of play that the Miami Dolphins, which I assume they're going to run just coming from the 49ers, will that be able to maximize the potential and get the most out of a $30 million receiver? And get the most out of a $30 million receiver whose best routes are deep, and your quarterback doesn't have that strong of an arm, and your quarterback is kind of tiny, and your quarterback, can he get it out there like Mahomes did to the cheetah? That is what we have to wait and see. And will he be worth $30 million when you have like a carbon copy of him with Jalen Waddle? Like Jalen Waddle was a carbon copy of Tyreek Hill. Like they're literally the same player. Just one has been in the league 6 years and one is going into his second year. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic on how they use the two. They can get really creative, and I can't wait to see it. Like, I can't wait to see it, because when you pay a receiver $30 million, you're going to use them every which way. They're going to line Tyreek Hill, and you coming from the 49ers, where the way they use Debo, they're going to use Tyreek Hill in the backfield. They're going to do jet sweeps, bubble screens, dig routes, deep routes, post corners, some of them little Cooper Kupp routes. See, they're going to do everything with the cheetah, because he's that dynamic of a player. He is that explosive, and he is that dangerous. But will he ever get the production, and will he ever see the numbers that he saw in Kansas City with another guy like Jalen Waddle, who essentially does a lot of the same things that he does, and with a quarterback that can't get the ball out to you out in front? Now, one thing I will say is that obviously Miami is letting us know that they're going all in. The Tua is a make or break year, but I think they've already made their mind up. This is just me. This is not reporting anything. This is my opinion. I think they made their mind up that they're moving off Tua. There's a couple of reasons why I say that. One, because they spent the most money this offseason, and they paid huge contracts to Teron Armstead, a huge contract to the Cheetah, and they're not paying Tua anything. Two, they have 2 first-round picks in next year's draft. Next year's draft is a lot better in the quarterback department than this year's draft. This year's top quarterbacks are Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, Desmond Ridder, Sam Howell. Like, those are good players, but they're not elite prospects. They have a bunch of flaws, and every prospect has flaws, and nobody's typically ever a can't-miss prospect. We're all really just guessing. But next year's class, it's got some guys that are a little more on the can't-miss borderline than the quarterbacks in this year's draft. We're talking about the C.J. Strouds of the world and the Bryce Youngs of the world. Miami has 2 first-round picks. Even after giving up that haul for the Cheetah, they have 2 first-round picks. And Tua, if he can't get it done, and even if he shows a glimpses like, he's still pretty good, I think they're going to take their chances on the C.J. Strouds of the world and the Bryce Youngs of the world to try to pair one of those guys with this offense than Tua. If Tua does play well, he'll have some kind of draft value. He'll have some kind of trade value. He'll have trade value, and they'll be able to get something for Tua and those 2 first-round picks they have in next year's draft, because they have the 2 first-round picks because of the 49ers trade when the 49ers moved up to draft Trey Lance. So they have the 49ers first-round pick next year, and they have their own first-round pick for next year. And so they'll be able to use that draft capital to move up to get the quarterback of their own desire, potentially. This is all potentially. And if Tua plays decent enough, they can pair Tua with those 2 first-round picks to go out and get the quarterback that they think could be the quarterback of the future. That's what I believe Miami is gearing themselves up to do. Because once you bring in that new quarterback, the clock restarts because you're not paying him anything. And then you'll get a full, they signed Tyreek for a 4-year deal. You'll get another 3 years out of Tyreek, another 4 years out of Armstead, and go from there with your new coach, Mike McDaniel. So those are just my thoughts. Tyreek, I don't think ruined his career by going to Miami, but I don't think he'll see the numbers that he saw in Kansas City. I just don't. I don't think Tua, I think he could have a bunch of catches, but the yards, the big plays, he's still a big play waiting to happen. He's still going to make those. But when you have another guy that does the same thing and that's really good at the same things that you're good at, and Jalen Waddle, and you have a run-first team, because they're going to be a run-first team with Mike McDaniel coming from the 49ers, a run-first team, a power-running team. They signed a fullback, so they're going to be a power-running team. I don't think you're going to see the Tyreek Hill of Kansas City in Miami. I think they're going to have to utilize his skill set in a different manner and try to pair that with how they utilize Tua and Jalen Waddle. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below on Tyreek Hill's move to South Beach with the Miami Dolphins. I like it. Get paid. Get your money, young man. Florida has no state income tax. You get paid. You're the highest paid receiver in history. Hey, go get your bread. I ain't mad at all. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, my name is JeffLightsYjr. The Black Boss Channel. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram at JLightsy7. That's Twitter and Instagram at JLightsy7. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out. I'll see you next time. Peace.